Please welcome my guest this evening, Ophelia Midnight.
Yay! Hi.
Hello. Hi, Ophi. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I was saying it's Friday night. It's been a
Mm-mm.
week, and looking forward to the weekend. But this is sort of the kickoff for my weekend. I've very much been looking forward to chatting with you. So good to have
Same.
you here.
I know when you asked me to come on the show, I was really excited. I was like, yeah,
Aw,
I'll do
you
it, of
flatter
course.
me.
No,
Well,
I've been really excited.
Well, I can clearly tell from chat that a number of people in the audience tonight are very familiar with you, but for those who aren't, if you could introduce yourself.
Yes. Hi, I'm Ophelia Midnight. I am from the company V-REVERIE. I'm from their Gen 1 Catalyst. I am your Yandere One-san and Phantom and Tea Connoisseur. So I hope that we can get along quite swimmingly, my loves.
Yes, indeed. That you and your genmates had your debuts. It's been a couple months now, actually. That time
Yeah.
really has flown. That you actually caught my. Well, actually, everyone in V-REVERIE caught my eye pretty quickly, and you just happened to be the first that I reached out to. But it was the type of thing that I was looking back and realizing, oh gosh, has it actually been? I think it's been 3 months at this point.
2 months. My
At
2 months
least
was
2.
yesterday, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, 19th. The 19th was my 2 months. And today is my genmate Lilria's 2 month, I'm pretty sure. Because we did
Yay.
like one day right after the other. Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
Mm-mm.
Indeed. As Moral says in the chat, 2 months went by very fast.
It did. It did go by really fast. But
Mhm.
honestly, like it's been really fun. So when I make my schedules for the week, I label them like week 1, week 2, and like I keep them so I can keep track of like how long it's been.
Oh, that's so nice.
And so it was weird. I was like typing them out, like, and I was like, week 8, week 9 already? Doesn't it feel like it's been that long?
And for me, this is episode number 64 of Vtuber Talk.
Oh, congratulations.
Certainly an auspicious one for folks who are video game fans growing up with the N64. And it is the type of thing that those numbers just creep up without you realizing, and you sort of just find yourself punching in the next number the next week. And it isn't until you sort of stop and realize, oh gosh, I'm in, double digits, or I've hit 25, 50, and it keeps going.
Yeah.
So
it's insane.
Yeah, it is.
And before you know it, it's going to be like,
no.
Well, you've if 64 shows, so you've had your 1 year already, yes?
Yes, yeah. The 1 year anniversary was in January. I actually hosted a charity marathon benefiting Child's Play, which is a really great company that gets video games and support to children in hospitals and domestic violence shelters. We raised a whopping $4,000 for the group, which was it was a very special weekend.
That's
and
so exciting.
Definitely something that I plan to sort of make a tradition for my own anniversaries. So definitely be on the lookout for another invite come January. It's pretty far off, so don't need to mark it down in your calendar quite yet, but when that rolls around, it's definitely something that I got to have a lot of my previous guests back on. It's something, like I said, I hope to continue. But anyways, enough about me. One thing that really struck me about V-REVERIE, when you all had your first collab, was just, all right, generally speaking, when you have an agency that, especially when the talents are having their first interactions together publicly, that I assume that you all spoke in private in the lead up to your debuts, but at the same time, sometimes, or I suppose you could say usually even, that first collabs are, for lack of a better word, buttoned up. That it's, a professional affair, that it's everyone getting to know each other still. But oh my goodness, you and the others in your first collab, I just sort of was sitting in my chair and being like, oh, okay, so this is how it is.
Yeah, Miss Nova and Miss Lilia, they've talked about it a couple times on their own streams. They've known each other for quite a while. However, I was thrown into the duo, but I think what really helps is like I think we all balance each other out, like energy wise, and on top of that, like we, at least up until that first collab, since we're talking in the context of that first collab, we hung out every day.
Mm.
You know, we hung out every day. I'm very adamant about having a really good sleep schedule. Like, I will go to I like will go to bed and have 8 hours of sleep. I'm very adamant about going to bed when I need to go to bed.
That's very good because I'm not very good at that myself.
I don't like functioning on anything less than 8 hours. I feel really lethargic and really gross. But I don't like sleeping more than 8 hours. It's kind of like a weird.
Yeah, you have to find that balance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like they fully broke my, because we would be having so much fun that I would be like, well, I can go to bed like an hour later. I can go to bed an hour later. And then it became 2 hours. And then it became, okay, besties, I gotta go sleep.
Oops.
It's like 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's how
I
you
gotta
know
go.
you've made good friends, when you find your sleep schedule being bumped around because you're hanging out together. So,
Yeah.
sorry to your sleep schedule, but I think it's a positive thing overall.
I fixed it. It's okay.
So that's good. Also, I missed
Because
a
now we
couple
hang out during the
follows, I
day.
realized. Kanamura P, Andre Proc, Diviato, and Don M. James. Thank you all so much for the follows. I'm also realizing I adjusted some sizing on the chat box today, and I didn't fully adjust the sizing on the little follower notification. Oops. I'll have to do that after the show. Breaker Style, thank you for the follow. Yes, things here at Vtuber Talk are very much put together with cardboard and duct tape.
You know what? It's a vibe. It's a vibe. I applaud you. Even like, I mean, like out of the box was cardboard and duct tape, and that still looked real great.
Oh, now that's a throwback.
I love Out of the Box. You can't. I love that. I loved that show. Just out of the box. Out of the box.
I had not thought about that show in a very long time.
You're very welcome. I'm filled with throwbacks.
Also, Varicor and Mason M 2001, thank you for the follows. Yeah, that for you and the rest of your gen mates, that I think you all get along very well, and that it's been a joy to watch you all these past 2 months, and all hopes for the best for you all going forward. That I think V-REVERIE has something very special, so I'm very optimistic to see where you all go.
Yeah, I'm very excited. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm having a lot of fun already doing, all sorts of content, especially because like I think we have been allowed a lot of like niceties to be able to be as creative as we want to be, which is really fun.
That's good. Also, folks in chat are using the term bedaked, and I'm like, I like to think that I have a pretty good command of the English language, and this is a term that's foreign to me. Is this my boomer showing, or is this something that is specific to you?
It just means like cracked or pogged, like,
okay,
like, oh, that's super pog. That's all.
All right, so that's the latest iteration of cracked, pogged, and based. Because like, I'm not that old, but this is a first for me. So thank you for educating me, chat.
Of course. I hate this so much. Oh gosh. My goal with the term bidet is to get everybody to say it.
Well, if that's your goal, I think you're succeeding.
Yes, thank you. It is we're going through several different, you know how your favorite character, the pro tag usually goes through several different arcs. We're going through a bedaked arc.
Yes.
No, I didn't make it up. Don't say that. Don't say that. I didn't make it up. It spurred it. I found it on Urban Dictionary.
Oh dear, Urban Dictionary.
I 200% did not make this up. Nope.
You didn't add it to Urban Dictionary yourself. Certainly not. Of course not.
I would never do such a thing. There's nothing about me that is chaotic and refuses to take responsibility for my actions.
Well, I mean, you can't gaslight me that way. Remember, I've seen your streams. I may have missed the Bidakes train at some point whenever that one started, but I still met you, Ophelia.
No, I'm not. I am simply saying that we live in a society where I don't need to take responsibility.
Oh dear. Jason Abraxas and Mellow Mai, thank you so much for the follows. Welcome on in. Oh dear. I wasn't quite sure how we'd start, but here we are.
You're welcome.
I will thank you. That it's been a very fun little intro here, and then
Yes,
as MK Slayer says in the chat, we need to go to the next arc. And the question is, what is the next arc going to be? Well, you're just going to have to stay tuned and find out.
Yeah, you need to subscribe to me on YouTube in order to find out what the next arc is.
Yes, you
do. The author is still trying to figure out what it is too.
Oh gosh. So, well, actually, that leads me to a nice little tie-in, because one thing that I know you're a big fan of is the Phoenix Wright series. I am also a big fan of Phoenix Wright, and did you play Phoenix Wright versus Ace Attorney? Or sorry, not Phoenix Wright versus Ace Attorney, goodness. Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton.
Yes.
Okay, because the idea of the author writing the next chapter and that it has yet to be written ties in very neatly to that one.
So, actually, fun fact, when I was pre-debut, one of the big things that I complained about the most was, not complained, but I commented on the most was Phoenix, the Professor Layton Phoenix Wright crossover, because his entrance is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. When Professor Layton goes into a bakery, and instead of just saying like hi or welcome like a normal person, Phoenix, like, he points really aggressively and goes, welcome, like he's saying objection, and it's so stupid.
But that's exactly what Nick would do.
I know, it's so dumb.
And then Layton would be very difficult, and Nick would say, what would you like to order today? And Layton would say, let me give you my order in the form of a puzzle.
It's too much, man. Too much. But it's a good
have a banger soundtrack. That I still hold the cornered theme from Ace Attorney versus Layton as the best cornered theme in all of Phoenix Wright.
You think so?
It's the brass. I'm a sucker for
That's
horns,
fair.
and they really lean into it in that particular arrangement.
That's fair. For me, I think my favorite cornered is probably from Apologistus.
Ooh, I haven't heard that one. That I've played all of the original trilogy, but I never played Apollo Justice, so I'm gonna have to look that one up. Oh my god,
Jay, you have to play Apollo Justice. Okay, people will probably roast me for this because I'm a huge trilogy stan. I will kiss the ground that that the trilogy walks on. I will support the trilogy till the end of time, right? However, I do think that Apollo Justice has the best story in one encompassing game out of the entire Ace Attorney franchise.
Ooh, and that's beating game one.
Yeah. Because I think the way that Ace Attorney is set up, they, at least with the trilogy, it all has a through line, and it's all more so about character growth. And at least to me, that's how it comes across as. However, with Apollo Justice, are you familiar with Apollo Justice at all?
I know the character vaguely, but no, like I said, I haven't played those games, so I don't really know much about it.
Okay, well, let's say, how do I word this? The Apollo Justice game ending is one of the most satisfying wrap-ups of the game. Not only does it leave you with your jaw dropping and wanting to learn more about specific instances that you don't get elaborations on like the best cliffhangers do, but it also provides a balance of darkness and light, much in the same way Ace Attorney consistently talks about the Dark Age of Law. So not only do you get to see the depth of which the the depth of which the Dark Ages of Law go into, or at least you get an inkling of it in Apollo Justice, but you also get to see the turning point in which things start to make a change.
Okay, so does this happen before Phoenix Wright?
It's after.
Okay, and it's the risk of the Dark Ages of Law returning then? Or...
I don't know how to... So, it takes place... It's not really a spoiler. It takes place 7 years after.
Mm-hmm.
And at the start of the 7 years... So, like, this... So it goes trilogy, and there's a 7-year gap between the last Trials and Tribulations and Apollo Justice, and then Apollo Justice. So I would say the intense darkness of the where it really starts to go to like heck and back is like right after TNT. I would say. Yeah.
Okay. Dang, because I've been playing through Great Ace Attorney, which is the very far removed prequel, which happens several hundred years prior to the event of the original Ace
those
Attorney.
Are all the ancestors.
Yep, the ancestors in Great Britain, and Sherlock Holmes, because despite the fact that Sherlock Holmes has been in public domain, that the character, that it's this weird copyright sort of contingency type of thing that, from what I understand...
Well, that's the reason why they originally didn't localize it, was because of Sherlock.
Yeah, from what I understand, the stories of Sherlock Holmes are public domain, which is why you see the bunches of different iterations on it, and why book printers can just print the stories ad nauseum. But the character of Sherlock Holmes is considered a separate matter of IP and is maintained by the Conan Doyle estate, and has the say over certain representations. And for whatever reason, Capcom was not able to get the license for the name Sherlock Holmes, and that's why they have to change it to Herlock Sholmes. But everyone knows what it is. It's fun sort of picking out the references in those games, and I think the cases have been very good. That I've finished the first game, I'm now on the second one, Resolve, and for folks who haven't played that particular prequel duology, because it's just 2 games, it's still very good. That it feels very much just like a Ace Attorney game, that they didn't change anything of significance there, but it's cool to see where they go with these stories, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed for where the second game goes. I'm not going to talk about it too much because it's massive spoilers for the first one, but if you are a Sherlock Holmes fan, there are a lot of references to enjoy, and I hope that one of the characters ends up being who I think they are. Leave it at that.
I mean, there's so many games in the Ace Attorney series. Like there's even like the investigations games, and only one of them is localized.
Yeah, but that one, I remember for the longest time I could find it at every dang GameStop I went to, because I get the feeling they overprinted that game, and that's why it didn't actually get the other ones localized, because they overestimated the demand and lost money on it.
Yeah, I heard that it was because like Miles Edgeworth is not as popular of a character in the States. So the sales of so it kind of goes in hand with what you said, where like they printed more copies than they and it didn't match with like the sales of they thought they were going to be. So they ended up not localizing it. And it's because people don't love Miles Edgeworth enough.
Gosh, folks, you just got to be loving Miles Edgeworth more.
Yeah, you just got to love my son more. How dare you not love my son?
Sorry, the audio on Video Ninja is acting up a little bit. Test. Test. There's like
hello.
There's a weird delay. I hope that the video is also going at the same time, so at least we're not having any latency there. Let me know in the chat, folks. Technology gets scuffed sometimes. Hopefully it's still working when it matters. But anyways, I take it that, well, I guess I'm not sure. Is your favorite character Edgeworth or is it Nick?
Oh no, not Nick. Why would it be Nick? It's Edgeworth. No, my favorite character is Edgeworth. A lot of it's come up as like, cause you know how typically you have like your favorite characters and you're like, oh, you like most people want to like marry them or something. I see Miles Edgeworth as this character that I like relate to, and a character that I like want to like befriend more than I like, because like some people are like, oh, my Oshi, my favorite character, would marry 10 out of 10, and I'm like, no, ew, I would never marry Miles Edgeworth.
And that's very much how I consume my media and how I interact with fictional characters. I've never really been one to have, you know, a waifu or an Oshi or anything like that. And it's just the characters that I gravitate towards are the ones that I respect or want to hang out with.
Yeah, I've actually talked about this before, like during a Q&A where like people were like, who's your favorite VTuber, or like, who are your Oshis? And I'm like, well, typically when it comes to those kinds of things, it's usually people that I respect their work ethic. I respect their ability to create content and be very consistently creative. I have a lot of respect for people who start in a really rough situation and push forward to come out as something greater. And I find that really motivating as well. So that's why like Miles Edgeworth is my favorite character, because I find him
Oh
relatable.
boy, does he go through a lot.
And the boy needs therapy. That's just what it comes down to. The man's middle name is Trauma. So
Kind of is, and you only need to play the first game to get to that part.
yeah. And like what's it called? Yeah, I love Miles Edgeworth as a character because to see him go through several different I guess like hurdles and adversities, along with you know, a battle within himself and what he in battling what he was taught was right versus what is actually right, and all this kind of stuff. I find very admirable. So that's why he's my favorite character.
Yeah. Did you ever see the movie?
Live action?
Yeah.
Of course.
I actually think it's one of the best live action video game movies that has ever been made. That it's so in the spirit of the games. It's over the top crazy when it needs to be, but it also just genuinely conveys the important beats of the story very well in a 2-hour film. And you know, I think Von Karma is depicted amazingly in there. They even get Larry done right. They even get Lotta done right.
Oh God, yeah. You know when you're irritated looking at him that they got it right.
Yep. Then good job to the casting director and the makeup team and the hair team, because they look like those characters, but they also
those wigs
they
though.
look just realistic enough mostly.
Yeah. Like they can get by. You know, like it's enough to know that it's a movie, but it's enough to like suspend that realism.
Yeah.
It's great. I've only seen it once. I don't talk about the movie too often because I'll be like, it is a beautiful piece of work. But then like I'm also like, but I'm biased. I've been playing the game for a very long time. I replay the game every single year, from the trilogy down to Spirit of Justice.
Do you have particular dates for those replays, or is it just that you try and get it once a year and it's whenever the fancy hits you?
So I always do the trilogy, or so I can do Christmas around Christmas.
Ah, yes. Merry Christmas.
Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas.
My friends and I, every year for longer than I'd care to admit, will send each other the picture of the person holding the gun in the text box that says Merry Christmas at midnight on Christmas.
Yes, exactly. And so it's always like, And so like for me that's like really important, especially because like okay, so once upon a time there used to be a Tumblr account. There used to be like today on this day in Ace Attorney, where it would tell you on the day of that year, like what was happening in Ace Attorney.
Oh my gosh.
And especially because they did a 7-year jump. A lot of people don't realize this. A lot of the trilogy happened in like 2015, like that kind of stuff. Because at the time that the game came out, that was the future.
That was the future. It was.
and then they were like, oh, never mind. And so then they bumped it even further. And so like, what's it called? So like some characters, they'll be like 8 years old, but then like you realize that in present time they didn't exist yet.
Oh no, they've messed with the timelines.
Like Pearl for example. So Pearl, her birthday, if I remember correctly, she was born in like 2010. And so that means in the time of the trilogy, it took place in like 2018. And I remember
that generally fits.
Yeah. And so like we are coming up on the timeline where Ace Attorney is current.
Oh
for
yes.
like
we've caught up a second time now.
Yeah. I just want them to make another game. I want them to clean up. There are some things that they didn't do, and I won't explain because you haven't played the games after the trilogy. However, there are some things that occurred in Apollo Justice that they did not address in the games following that I need them to address and fix. It's very important to me. Hi, Capcom, can you do that for me, please? Thank you.
Capcom, please. And also while you're there, have a character named Ophelia Midnight.
I will come out and like voice an objection. I will do it. Make me a prosecutor. I'd love that.
You would be a prosecutor. You would absolutely be a prosecutor.
I mean, I know myself at least.
And I feel like there's a decent chance of it with the release of Great Ace Attorney in the West, and it seems to have done relatively well. So I don't think it's necessarily going to happen in the next year or two, but I feel like Ace Attorney has now gotten to the point where it is a franchise that is likely to see installments every 5-ish years. That it's not going to be as often as I don't know, Call of Duty or Mario or Zelda, but that there's enough fan demand that I don't think it's going to go anywhere because it's been around now, as weird as it is, for 15-ish years.
You want to hear my theory? So when DGS came out, no one thought it was ever going to be localized, but then it did. And so that makes me super hopeful that they're going to localize Investigations too, and it'll buy them some time because what they did was they remastered the trilogy and then they brought out DGS.
Yeah, the remastered trilogy felt like them testing the waters.
Yeah, to
seeing like, do people want this? Do people care?
Yeah.
And that when it was successful, that they went with a Great Ace Attorney.
And Great Ace Attorney's doing really well, right? And so they have this new wave of fans that are suddenly into Ace Attorney. Plus the
fact that you now have virtual console releases, so they don't need to worry about doing a physical printing, which used to be a really big hurdle.
Exactly. So now I'm like, my hope, right, is that to me, logically, it makes sense to do Investigations 2 next.
Yeah, and I like your theory there of it buys them time. It satisfies the new fans because they haven't played it. It satisfies the old fans because they haven't played it either. Because
then new fans can also go and play Investigations. And what they can do is just do a remaster and put both games. So that way people don't have to go like buy like copies that don't exist, I guess.
Yeah.
Or DS copies, because they don't really do that anymore. And like it'll buy them time to put out another Ace Attorney game. So that's my theory. So my hope is, because DGS came out last summer, and then before that, like a year and some change before that was the trilogy. I'm hoping, right, that in the next half year to a year, we'll get investigations. That is my dream.
Ooh.
I mean, I could just
From
be
your
like
lips to
fever
Capcom's
dreaming it,
ears.
right? I mean, just from like this is just like all speculation, of course, but and it's like me obviously also like,
Manifesting.
please give me this game that I've wanted. Because like there's like fan translations and things like that, because like the fans like obviously wanted to play the game, and not everyone can speak Japanese.
Yeah.
But man,
We can
please,
hope.
please, I want it so bad. It's so important to me.
Also, Boiling Metal 65, thank you for the follow. Welcome on in.
Yeah.
We can dream, we can hope. I wouldn't call it unrealistic. That there's plenty of other games that I want, and plenty of other franchises that I want to see get more installments, that I am far less optimistic about than Ace Attorney.
Yeah.
Glances
Especially 'cause they're
sadly
bringing
over
it back.
Professor Layton.
Like when Shu Takumi made that video about DGS, I lost my mind.
What was this?
There was a video about him announcing DGS. And I like saw it and I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. It can't be real. Is it real? And it was real. And I was so excited.
Yay. Also, Joe Papa Patata, thank you for the follow. That's a fun name. Do you have
Hi, everyone.
Apart from Miles, and I guess, actually, I will say, of all the characters that are not lawyers or prosecutors, do you have a favorite character?
Okay. That are not lawyers or prosecutors.
Yeah, so that could be a witness, it could be, one of the family members that you get to interact with, but nobody who is saying objection.
Dang. Okay. Let's see. Is it limited to characters in the trilogy so I don't spoil it for you?
No, you can talk about ones that are in Apollo Justice or Investigations. That's totally fine.
Okay. So, my favorite characters are, this is easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay. Dahlia Hawthorne, hands down. I love her so much.
I have met Dahlia because she's in
Trials and Tribulations.
Yep.
She's fantastic. I think she's a great character. I'm not going to elaborate any more than that. She's beautiful. She's great. And I think she's really well written. Second favorite character, Trucy, from Apollo Justice. I love her.
I've seen pictures of Trucy.
Yeah, she's adorable. I love her so much. Let me think. I also really love who would I put third?
I've always had a soft spot for Gumshoe after the first game. I didn't like him in the first game because he was too close to being an antagonist, at least up until the last case. But then in games 2 and 3, he was the bumbling, lovable investigator who was more friendly than hindering. And just, you can tell he's trying so hard.
Yeah.
He's trying.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I mean, I also love Maya. I don't feel as much of a connection to her as I do like Trucy or like Dahlia. I also really love Eenie Miney. I love her.
Oh yes.
I study like spirits and like all of that kind of stuff. I mean, like I was like napping. I was like asleep when the gunshot went off. I love her so much. She's so freaking cute. I also really love Regina Berry. I will say this. I don't like her in JFA. I want to clear that up because I say that I like her character, and I don't like her in the game because most people don't know that she shows up in a later game. I'm not going to say which game, but she shows up in a later game. and she's much cooler. She's much better in the later game.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that one then.
Yeah, because I think in JFA I just want to punch her all the time. Who else? Oh, I love. Okay, you can't judge me for this one, Jay. I love Matt Ongard. I love him. And that one is because I think he's hot. That's really it.
I was like, well, little bit of judging, but if it's just because it's hot, yeah, I'm not going to deny the guy's hot.
Like, okay, so I talk about this on my streams, okay? So it's not new to anybody, and if you're new to my content, I've talked about this on my streams. You're welcome. So I love characters that are strong and wackadoodle. If they have the potential to well, to put it bluntly, kill me, then I'm so into it. Yeah. Yep.
Well,
but I'm a phantom, so
what you just said in a nutshell does explain one other topic that we were planning for tonight, and that explains in a nutshell all of the main cast of Spy Family.
Yes.
They are very good looking folks. They can absolutely kill you, but they're also a bunch of bumbling, well-meaning but bumbling idiots.
Oh yeah, I love Lloyd Forger. I love him. I love him so much. I think he's great. I think literally, okay, so was it yesterday? So we're gonna start this thing on my channel called Anime Club. It's like a book club, but instead of, reading books, because I don't really read, we're gonna watch anime, watch anime, and we watched all the current episodes of Spy Family, and I think it was the most recent episode. I was losing my mind. Like, some people can attest. I was like screaming. I was like, yeah.
I'm caught up, so I think I know what we're talking about. That
yeah, the way it jumps around. Like, if he does anything action packed, I'm so into it. I'm like, yes, hello, hi there. Someone, I can't remember who it was. Somebody said, what was it? I can't remember who it was, but they said they're like 11 out of 10 times I would call Lloyd Forger daddy, and I was like, oh my god.
It's such a fun show. For those who aren't familiar with it, it is a manga series that is currently being adapted into anime. That it's very much an anticipated one that has a very good following at this point. And the plot, in a nutshell, is that this is alternate history, random country names, but basically in this world, there is a Cold War ongoing, which is to say, intelligence, espionage, bullets are not being fired, bombs are not being dropped, but if things shift too much in one way or the other, that it could escalate from a Cold War to a hot war where there is actual combat. And the best spy from one of the two nations is assigned to go to the other nation and collect intelligence on the enemy. And to do so, they need to go undercover and start a family, because the only time that his target is seen in public is at his son's school functions. So he has to find a wife and he has to adopt a child, get them into this very prestigious school, and make sure that they get into the upper echelons of that school so that they can get access to the son of this politician that they're supposed to be keeping tabs on. And
so they can yeetus deletus the man.
Basically, and his wife, unbeknownst to him, is an assassin. And unbeknownst to them,
he has no idea.
Their adoptive daughter is psychic. So the
she's
daughter Yeah, she's a telepath. She is the only one in the cast with full information because she is able to read their thoughts and knows what they're thinking and knows that her adoptive father is a spy and that her adoptive mother is an assassin. And she thinks that's the coolest freaking thing ever. And goodness know what she is not gonna, divulge those secrets because she, like a very young girl, and has the wherewithal to understand, all right, mommy and daddy are keeping these secrets, so I love my mommy and daddy, and I'm not going to tell their secrets. But oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Yeah, because like if they do, she's like, we'll have to split up, and I want to keep my family, like that kind of stuff. Waku waku.
This particular little girl character also has the best facial expressions of the season, probably of the year.
Yeah, she's literally like
this smarmy, smirking little pink-haired child. That's Spy Family.
Yeah, I was about to say, she's a meme everywhere. Even if you haven't seen Spy Family, you've probably seen the meme. There's no way you haven't seen the meme.
Anya.
Yeah, no, she's so great. She just puts everything out there. But at her age, it makes sense. And I think she's depicted really well.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes in anime, the young child is way too smart.
Just a little too smart, a little too mature and put together, and that she reacts and she has these big expressions and she has to play.
And she has a comment, an opinion for everything. And doesn't understand that things have a filter.
Yep, and it's very adorable, but also action-packed. That it's got a little something for everyone. I am not caught up on the manga. I don't read the manga. I've been just enjoying taking the week-by-week installments of the anime, and it's been very good. The only thing I'm very much hoping, it's a co-production by two well-known studios, Studio Wit and Cloverworks.
And let's go.
Studio Wit, I hold up as one of the best in the industry today. That they did Vivi Fluoride Eyes song, they did Ranking of Kings, and Cloverworks also does wonderful things. The only thing that gives me pause is Cloverworks was the studio responsible for Promised Neverland.
Don't get me started. Don't do that to me.
That they did season 1 oh so well, and then season 2 happened. And I'm just praying that Studio Wit will keep Cloverworks from doing what they did.
They ruined it. They ruined it so bad.
Yeah. And it's just, okay, Studio Wit, you need to babysit Cloverworks. Keep them well-behaved, because when well-behaved, Cloverworks does amazing things. Just make sure that they don't indulge those impulses for whatever the heck caused season 2 of Promised Neverland, and we'll be just fine.
Yeah, the thing is, when season 2 was coming around, they had more than enough content than they needed to change. So I don't know why they changed.
Yeah, I don't know, and I'm just praying and hoping to the anime gods that we get to have more of this level of Spy Family, because frankly, I think it's an Anime of the Year contender at this point in time. That I don't know if I would necessarily call it the Anime of the Year, but it's going to be one that I'm very confident to come December, January, when it's time for those retrospectives and the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, that it's going to be up there.
I mean, so far, 6 episodes in, sometimes they tend to show some misses already by this point. So I'm staying hopeful. But man, you made me start thinking about Promised Neverland now. Promised Neverland, the second season. Man,
we'll just pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah, I just pretend. I close my eyes. Because they cut out my favorite arc. I remember watching an episode,
that was another
and I was
one that
like,
I didn't read, I watched it, but I heard about the mythical Goldie Pond arc that apparently everybody loved, and that apparently was like the best arc
it is
for
the
a lot of people, and it just didn't exist.
Like, it showed a lot of growth. It introduced a lot of really incredible characters, and they just cut out the whole thing. Just cut it out. And I thought it was like so necessary. I thought it was such a necessary. We would have sat here for a 3rd season.
You didn't need to keep it to 2.
Yeah. And part of me thinks that
see a case study or a documentary on what led to the business decisions. Was it that they got approved for 2 seasons of funding and couldn't get a 3rd, so they knew they had to make it fit in 2? That's my best guess at this point, frankly, of just what on earth could have caused it, and it would have been a known time limit. But
Yeah,
that baffles me because season 1 was so dang successful that I would have expected them to have no trouble getting a second and a third season approved.
yeah, that's what I was thinking, that maybe that they felt the need to rewrite the story because they weren't able to get enough episodes contracted. But that doesn't make any sense because the first season was so like
It
well
was so well
loved.
received.
Yeah. So who knows? But I mean, I just like I remember watching it and then like seeing them get to a part and I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited because I was watching it with my friend and I was like, you're about to see my favorite arc animated before your eyes. And then they skipped it and I was like, what?
What just happened?
I was like, wait. What happened? And then we kept going through the episode and I was like, this didn't happen. This doesn't happen. They're like, so what is the arc? And I was like, nothing. None. That's not even here. There's no way for me even to tell you what the arc is because they didn't even animate like an inkling of it.
The records do not exist.
Yeah. So
The
I just
archives
ended up
are
like,
incomplete.
yeah, I ended up not finishing season 2 overall because I was
Yeah.
just so disappointed by No Goldie Pond because it just plays such a huge part in how they choose to combat the demons and also it shows like their character growth, intellectual growth. It's just it's so good. Big F's.
Also, SG Bun, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Yes, at the present time, Spy Family is going very well, and I'm going to remain optimistic that we are not going to have a repeat. And
Yeah.
hopefully, you would think after what happened there that Cloverworks would be scared straight to never do that again.
Oh yeah. It probably made a lot of their numbers go down.
Yeah, because don't get me wrong, like we're ragging on them a little bit right now, but it's because it was such a spectacular failure and so uncharacteristic. Because when the name
They have
Cloverworks
some
first came up,
bangers.
that you were gushing over them. That your initial reaction when you hear Cloverworks isn't even thinking of this kind of spectacular, memorable failure, but all the other good stuff that they do.
Yeah.
Because they do a lot of really good stuff.
Because they did what else have they done? Someone mentioned My Dress Up Darling. There was also I know a lot of people like Horimiya. They actually did the second season of Ace Attorney.
I didn't realize that was them.
Yeah, I have some qualms, but that's not here nor there. That's just because I'm an Ace Attorney fan. It has nothing to do with Cloverworks itself.
Yeah, and then I chalk that up to video game adaptations or anime adaptations of video games that you have to make a lot of changes and expedite certain things.
Yeah. No, well, the thing is, it's also, I think it's because when you put it in real time, put the cases in real time, a lot of the suspense is gone.
Yeah, because it has to move at a certain pace to keep it engaging for animation. But when you're playing the game, a lot of it is you thinking and having that tense music in the background. And things are going to move a bit slower in text than when it's
like
being
the big
performed.
breakdowns. There's usually like a big moment before the breakdowns, and you get that, but you don't get the same intensity because you are watching it and you're not experiencing it for yourself.
Yeah.
Like the big breakdowns that I was kind of underwhelmed by were my homegirl in Trials and Tribulations.
Franziska.
No. Breakdowns.
Oh, breakdown. Yes, gotcha. Yep.
Yeah. Our main antagonist in Trials and Tribulations. Yeah. And then the main antagonist of the final case in Justice for All. And then I was like also kind of underwhelmed by even like the small ones. I call him Banana Boy. What is his name? He wears the blue suit. He has like he gives the banana glove to it's that case. It's the first case of JFA. He's got a blonde stripe in his bangs. He wears an ascot and he's got a
he's off-brand Larry.
Yeah, what is his name? I call him Banana Boy because there's 3 characters that I call them Banana Trio because it's him, Luke Atme, and then a character in investigations, but a lot of people don't know the investigations. So I primarily prefer to look at me and listen guys.
Mm,
Richard Wellington, there it is.
gotcha. Now, when you do your next playthrough of them, it's going to be your first time playing through as Ophelia Midnight. Are you planning on streaming them, or are you going to keep those to yourself of just on your off time that those are going to be kind of sacred, or is it going to be something that you plan on actually broadcasting?
Maybe. The thing with streaming it is that it's a lot of like story and character stuff. So I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about like the little nuances that people might miss. And like people would have to watch from the beginning in order to understand the next stream. So that's probably the biggest downfall. Like, I mean, I can keep people up to date and tell people as much as they want to, or people can watch the VOD. But
yeah, since it is such a story intensive one, I can see how it'd be difficult. That I know some folks have streamed it and they'll do the full voice acting of it, and I know voice acting
I
is
would
something
do
that you
full
very
voice
much enjoy.
acting.
But
Yeah.
it's certainly not as easy to tune in without context as it would be for other games, for sure.
Yeah. So like I'm more like open to like doing like streams where I just sit down and talk about Ace Attorney for hours. Like one of my first streams was an Ace Attorney tier list.
Yeah, I remember seeing that one, and that was one of the things I noted. It was like, okay, she's not kidding when she says she loves Ace Attorney.
Oh, I am not kidding. I've been joked with. People have been like, okay, you love Ace Attorney, name all the characters. And I was like, bet. And then
But actually,
I got to about 79 characters before they asked me to stop. And they were like, okay, we get it. I was like, but I'm not done. And they were like, no, you are done. You will be done. Yeah. So I'm like, don't test me, because that's one thing that I'm very like what's it called? I'm not competitive, but if you tell me I can't do something, I'll be like, bet.
That you're not going to care so much about whether you can one up somebody else, but if somebody challenges you and says that or questions your ability to do something, that you are going to prove them wrong.
Oh, 100%. Especially because like 9 times out of 10, I'm not one to bluff. So like, if I say I can do something, or if I say I'm fine, I'm fairly forthcoming about those kinds of things. So, then I'll be like, yeah, okay, fine, I'll prove it. I have no qualms, because guess what? You're gonna be wrong. I have no issue. Like, I was supposed to have a stream tomorrow. I was supposed to do a curse piece party, and that stemmed from the fact that because I told a story about how I had for $100 I ate mayo, or I ate pizza covered in mayo, like a slice of pizza for $100. And like, people,
how much mayo are we talking? Are we talking like a layer of mayo? Are we talking a huge quarter-inch of
like
mayo?
a layer, like you know how like when you
if it's just like one layer spread with a knife.
No. It's like you squirt it out of the bottle and you don't spread it. It's like, you know how it comes out in like a 1-inch round? It's like that.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah, and people were like, ew, that's so gross. I was like, bro, that's $100. You think I'm not gonna, it's just mayo.
That's true.
It's just mayo. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen to me? Nothing. So I ate it for $100. And my chat was like, oh, you wouldn't do that again. And I was like, oh, I'd do it, bet. And so, and I kept saying like, I've eaten a lot of like random combinations of food for a bet. And I've done it. Like, I'm not like a weenie.
Yeah,
like one time.
As long as I know a food isn't going to cause me bodily harm, in general, I will try anything once, even if it sounds conceptually gross. That I've had every manner of fish or meat. I've had bugs once or twice, and like, sure, as long as I can be confident that it's not poisonous or something, I'll try it once. And then if I know it's something I don't like, like you said, there's a price tag for which I will do it. I did a couple of those for my charity stream. The one thing that I will no longer do is Bean Boozled because that was awful. Never doing
Actually,
that again. I
one of
actively
my
discourage people from doing Bean Boozled. My hat goes off to the creators, the engineers that synthesized that monstrosity, but it was so bad that my stomach started turning
oh
and
no.
like that it was causing discomfort. And when doing a marathon stream, you can't let yourself become physically uncomfortable or everyone's going to have a bad time. So I had to call that off. And I tell people, if you're thinking of, spicy things or sour things to do for your subathon or what have you, don't do Bean Boozled because it's just painful. It's bad.
I've done Bean Boozle a couple of times. I won't
Maybe I could
lie.
do one or two. Maybe it was the fact that I had 15 of them.
Okay. Well,
People donated a lot for charity, like I said. They were
no,
generous.
I don't blame you. I mean, like, what's it called? I don't mind. Like, I'm not judging. But like, I've definitely done Bean Boozle a couple times, and it's very nerve-wracking. But it's like really gross when you get the gross ones, but the good
It's
ones
not
are
a
not bad.
50-50 split. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's a 60-40. No, it's probably like a 70-30 split or less. Because I think in the 15 to 20-ish that I had before I started getting that stomach ache, I think I had 3 that weren't the bad flavors. And it was the dirty dishwater that got me. That one I took one bite of and I had to spit out.
Oh gosh, dirty fish water. I can
Like,
only imagine what that tastes like.
it was just bitter. Like,
Mm.
we're not talking horseradish type of bitter. It is its own thing. It was clearly chemical. And like I said,
Mhm.
congratulations to the engineers who did that. That must have been a very fun thing to make, that somebody got assigned, all right, we want you to create this flavor as best you can with these chemicals, and we're going to put in a jelly bean. That's a cool
Mhm.
job, and congratulations to whoever the heck got paid to do it. I would do it if you paid me to create it, certainly would, but you can no longer pay me to eat it.
That's fair. I just like I'm like balls to the wall, and to be fair, I'm not doing the cursed pizza party anymore because I've happened to catch a cold. However,
We'll
like,
have to stay tuned, folks. You never know when it might happen.
yeah. But what was on it? Hold on, I'm trying to look at this list. I gotta go look at it. Where is it? Where did I put it? Oh, here. Okay, so on the list was mayonnaise, hot sauce, raw onions, Greek yogurt, chipotle mayo, bean boozle, mangoes, dried scorpion. I dipped the slice of pizza in tea. I
That
dipped the
doesn't
slice
sound
of
that bad.
pizza in ramen. Well, it's supposed to soak. It's supposed to be soggy when I eat it. And then coffee grounds and whipped cream.
Yeah, those didn't sound so bad. Like, the hot sauce one, the tea one, ramen. Like, heck, I think ramen might actually, apart from the soggy consistency, that if you're able to let it soak for a little bit before it just gets totally goopy
Yeah.
and still have, some consistency of the crust, I actually think that might work out pretty nicely.
Yeah, we'll see. So we'll see. I might have. I
Also,
might.
have you had
Flip
dried
it around.
scorpion before? A couple
No,
folks in the chat are very curious about that.
no.
Goofy will 47, welcome on in.
Excuse me. I bought it for a bet because someone was like, "You wouldn't," and I was like, "I would," and they're like, "You wouldn't," and I was like, "No, I really would," and so I bought it, and then they like weenied out on me, and then didn't want to watch me eat it.
Because
So now I
at
just
that point,
have it.
it's dried as long as, like I said, if I know there's no venom in it, sure, I'll eat it. It'll
Yeah,
probably be crunchy.
as long as I know that I'm not like gonna die from it, then I'm okay. I don't care. I'm a very simple lady.
Yeah. And as long as it isn't all of those things you listed at the same time.
No, it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So people.
That's just
So
going to
they.
be a very big bite.
So it's basically gonna be like based on how much like the supa is like
Were they
will be
buying
dependent
real
on how
estate?
many. Yeah, well, how much of the topping goes on the bite on the thing, and then I
Mm,
eat it.
okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So like 100 is 6 toppings, 50 was 3 toppings, 20 is 2 toppings, 10 is 1 topping.
Might steal that concept somehow for my charity stream next time. I'll have to
Ayo,
watch yours
get
whenever
into
you
it.
do it and see how the system works, but that I can then sort of just translate that to, you said it's dependent on the SUPA, and that for me, it would
Yeah.
depend on the donation. We'll figure out a way to do that. Because
Yeah.
I did the classic, order my pizza, and I didn't tell chat what I do and don't like. And, if someone can remember it from now till January, I do like pineapple on pizza. Thank you very much. I think it's great.
Oh yeah, I also think it's really good.
Now, pineapple with anchovy was a bit weird. It wasn't great. And then it was like black olives and I think it was barbecue chicken or something. That everything except the sardines was good. And it was just that the place I got the sardines from, it was overwhelmingly salty at that point. It wasn't that it
Oh,
was
icky.
bad. It was just it overpowered the other stuff too much. That I might try from a different place next year, but
Yeah.
might do yours as well, where it's a bit more creative. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's funny and like interactive, and if you know you have the stomach for it, then like why not go for
Yeah,
it?
like that's fine. I'll eat pizza, and at that point, it's for what I did. It was only toppings that the actual pizza place had on the menu. That I wasn't doing anything crazy to it. But
Yeah.
I might curate a list of some of the things that you mentioned that I'd be all right with. That like you said, the ramen idea, whipped cream,
Mm-mm.
all that. Just not the bean boozled.
I thought it would add extra like surprise factor
Yeah,
if you did
it'll
Vin
add a kick.
Diesel.
That's for sure.
Hey, you know what? I live on the edge. I'm a phantom. I don't have much to lose at this point.
That's fair. That's very fair.
You know?
Yeah. One of the things that a couple people mentioned earlier on, and that sort of got referenced when it came to Ace Attorney, is voice acting. That you very much enjoy voice acting. You've actually done
Yes.
a couple videos of you impersonating specific characters. And
Yes.
I know you're a little bit under the weather right now. I'm not going to ask you to do any of that. That folks are going to have to follow your channel and tune in for that. But from a conceptual level, that I don't voice act professionally or anything,
Mhm.
but I've done theater and I've done performances with friends online for different things where I've had to change my voice.
Mhm.
And I love finding different ways to mess with your voice. That
Mhm.
somebody really early on called out your Harley Quinn impersonation. And like I
Yeah,
said,
I
I'm
actually
not going
put
to
out
ask
a
you.
clip today of me doing that on
Oh,
my YouTube
okay. That
channel.
explains it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for one of mine that I was the Joker for a thing that
Oh,
I did,
hell yeah.
and I got to no wait, I need to find it. Where was it? Loses disgrace to the name Joker. Finding the Mark Hamill voice. Finding just a slightly bit of nasal while also getting it lower. Mark Hamill's voice for the Joker in particular is very interesting.
Aw, Puddin', you're doing such a great job.
Oh, thank you, Pooh.
Oh, yeah.
No, I love doing voices, and your Joker impression's very good. Like, I will say that I do actually. I think I do say that I think Mark Hamill's impression of the Joker is like one of my favorites. So, like, I also think that a lot of people don't realize that Mark Hamill voiced the Joker.
Yeah, that obviously Mark Hamill, most famously known for Luke
For Luke
Skywalker.
Skywalker, yeah.
But it's the type of thing that in the years after Star Wars, that he very much found himself active more so in voice acting than in live action. And one of the big things he did, that he played the Joker for the better part of a decade. That there was Batman Phantasm. He did in several of the animated series, Return of the Joker, the Batman Beyond movie.
Love
And
Batman Beyond movie.
he also was Firelord Ozai in Avatar The Last Airbender. That ironically, perhaps one of the best known heroes of all time went on to voice some of the best known villains of all time.
It's the range. It's the range. I mean, because if you think about it, I mean, he voiced Joker. and Ozai, and so it's like that's a huge turning point from Luke Skywalker. But I think it's also one of those things that as you get older, your branding starts to change as well.
Mm-hmm.
So but I think he's such a great actor, and like I've always been a fan of his work. I
Yeah.
mean, I am slightly biased because I grew up a Star Wars kid, but
Same here.
But
Do you
yeah.
have any favorite types of voices that you like to do that not necessarily a particular role, but do you find that there is a range or a style, whether it be one that you think that you are particularly adept at, or one that you just have the most fun with when it comes to characterizations?
I will admit that I do enjoy Harley's the most because hers is more of like a maniacal, like she's having fun being maniacal and like having fun like doing bad things. And I think that a lot of people, when they think like yandere vibes or like anything like that, they think it's always just like, oh hello darling, like what's a good example, like Lust from Full Metal Alchemist. They think that. Whereas Harley is like, she's just having fun. She's like there to like wreck things and she is trying to get the notice of people that she cares about. And
Yeah.
she always laughs and smiles through that. And I think that like that kind of contrast always is the most fun to act out. But I also enjoy like the fact that hers is like it's a character voice while also taking on the vocal I guess like vocal nuances of like a specific accent from like a state, because she has that like New York Brooklyn accent type of thing.
Yeah.
And so that part's really fun because you have to not only incorporate that into your character, but you also have to think of her little nuances that take her away from just having a New York accent to being Harley Quinn.
Okay, yeah, I never thought about it that way, but you're right that it is sort of interesting because the Joker, in whether it be Mark Hamill's portrayal or really any of them that I can think of, that the Joker does not have anything that would be considered a Brooklyn accent, but it's something that I think has become a bit more commonplace for Harley and her various voice actresses over the years.
Yeah, I think the Harley actress that inspires me the most is Tara Strong, though.
Tara Strong in general. Gosh.
She's a powerhouse. I love her so much. I'm such a huge fan.
For those of you who don't look into voice actors very much, Tara Strong was very likely the voice of your childhood and you didn't know it, because she's voiced so many freaking things between Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon and Disney over the years that she has done so much. She was Bubbles in the
Powerpuff
Girls. She was Timmy Turner.
Poof.
I think she was the main character in the My Little Pony series.
Yeah, she was also in the 101 Dalmatians TV show that was on Disney Channel.
That's a throwback.
Yeah. She was also Dill Pickles in Rugrats.
That's right.
She's also Twilight Sparkle. Oh, but you already said that. Twilight Sparkle.
Oh, Raven, Raven Teen Titans.
Yeah. She was Raven.
I love the original Teen Titans. You want to talk about things that didn't get endings that were deserved, like I put that one up there with Promise Neverland in terms of squandered opportunity. The end of the original Teen Titan series. I will never forgive them.
Because she's also I'm trying to remember, because she's done so many. She was Ben Tennyson.
That's right. Yeah,
she's Ben 10. Who else? There's so many. Like I could just like sit here and think about.
We could make this the Tara Strong show, but we won't. But bottom line is, she does a lot. Oh gosh, from Shaolin Showdown, Spiritual Onesie. Thanks for that flashback. That was
yo. That is a throwback. I
Yeah,
remember
going
seeing on
back
a
to the days of
TikTok
Kids
that she also was
WB.
Batgirl as well at some point. I saw it on a TikTok though, because she does TikToks where she like just voices all of your favorite characters from your childhood all
Hmm.
enrolled into one, and I'm like, oh,
Hey, no, sounds like good content. Get that out there.
that's true. That's true,
Now,
man.
oh
Mm.
gosh. Uh, so one of the games that you've been playing recently, that I've been playing recently, is
Mm.
Super Auto Pets. And it is
Yes.
a combination of you and one of my past guests, General Giga, who got me into Super Auto Pets, that I
Oh,
saw just
cool.
enough streams of the two of you playing it. It was like, okay, I'm bored one day. I'm going to download it on my phone. And
Yeah.
I enjoy strategy games that I play Magic the Gathering. So, you know, card battlers and the concept of power toughness is something that I'm completely familiar with.
Mm.
And I hadn't actually gotten into auto battlers at all before. It was not necessarily that I didn't think I would like it. It was just, you know, busy with a bunch of other things and never actually got to it. But when I got Super Auto Pets, it became a minor obsession for a good week and a half. And I'm not, you know, quite as much, but it's the type of thing that, you know, every day or two, I'm going to play for like 30 minutes, an hour, just play a couple rounds. And what we've actually arranged is a first in 64 episodes of Vtuber Talk that we're actually going to play a game during the show.
Ikuzo, let's go.
So I'm going to flip around a couple things. So I'm going to deactivate this first one and then bring up the second one. So you're going to see, for those of you
I will
watching in chat,
also
you're going to see a
start.
bit of a close-up while Ophi changes her overlay to make it so that we are actually going to play a round or two of Super Auto Pets and sort of talk through the strategy, show you what it's all about, but also sort of compare our strategies, because we have not discussed the different strategies that we go with. In 50, 60-ish games for me, I've only actually gotten 10 wins twice. Once was using what I know to be one of your favorite strategies, which is the hedgehog strategy. And the other
That's
one...
not so much a strategy as it is me trolling.
Hey, it works though. If
I mean, yeah.
an opposing team isn't ready for the hedgehogs and the pufferfish, they're gonna get mowed down.
Yeah, that's true. It is true.
The other one was a buffalo strategy where I got a level 3 fish really early on, because one of the early strategies I enjoy is fish. And I was able to just build up this very large buffalo very quickly. And that combined with, I think it was a kangaroo behind it and a parrot behind that. And then I like one or two utility things at the back and just go to town with raw stats. So while you finish your setup there, do you have any sort of favorite beginning approaches? Because we're going to jump in and there's going to be one of a small number of animals. And I always find it interesting to hear how people like to start these games, because they are randomized, but there's only so many ways you can start.
I mean, I don't think about how I'm starting until I see them, but I prefer fish, ant, mosquito. Because mosquito, it's kind of like a 3-2, and then an ant will buff your, if you're lucky, will buff your fish.
So we are here now, and we're gonna start a arena mode. Let's just do the base set one. That's the only one I'm actually familiar with. So if we use any of the expansion packs, I'm not gonna be very useful, but that'll probably make it easier for folks who aren't as familiar with the game.
Arena mode, let's go.
Then, and well, we have 2 fish right from the get-go. Oh, we zoomed in extra there. Yeah. So, now the fish are an interesting one because as you level them up, they give bonuses to all the other pets that you have right now.
So here in this instance, I'm probably going to do both fish plus the ant. But what we're going to do is we're going to do fish, and we're going to freeze the fish. And because we have one more roll.
Yeah.
And see if we get a mosquito. We don't.
And I'm inclined to just put the second fish up there. And
I'm actually kind of thinking maybe double ant, because if you're lucky, you could get them to both buff the fish.
Oh, did they do an update? I thought the fish was a 2-3.
They did update it recently, yeah.
Ooh, I must not have gotten the update because it's 2-2 now. Okay, that actually does change the calculus a bit. So you said that you wanted to go with the ant?
Yeah, I'm thinking the ant.
just
But
to
yeah,
let
they
them
they did
stack
it
up.
to buff it, not buff it, to balance it.
Yeah. Also, so we've zoomed in a bit and we can see the full field, but we can't see you anymore. I just want to
Oh,
make sure that.
I don't know
Oh,
why I did that.
there we go. Yeah.
Did I fix it?
Yep. Now we're back to
Okay,
normal.
cool.
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 Are there any other big updates that I should? Oh, I see the duck now has 2 power. Okay. That makes
Yeah,
me
yeah,
like the
yeah.
duck a lot more. The fact that it used to be a 1-3 was just so difficult, but 2-3,
Yeah,
that's much
I
nicer.
used to just have the duck just to like I would have it on my team, fully knowing I would probably lose a round. But then like it would buff like the next round for me, especially if the only options were ducks.
All right, so we now have these 2 ants and the 1 fish, and the way it
Mm-hmm.
works is we're about to get paired up against some random other team that is in round 1. Oh yes, the most important choice in the entire
Yes.
game. What is our name?
What
Well,
should we name them?
we have phantoms. Oh my gosh, Ophi, that's meant to be.
AO,
Whatever it is, the
AO,
second one
AO.
has to be phantoms, no
Okay.
question.
Then what should
And
it be?
then
Grotesque,
grotesque,
squeaky, or broken?
broken.
What do you think?
Honestly, they're all really good. I think that they could all work. Do you have any preference?
Mm, let's do squeaky.
Squeaky? Okay. The Squeaky
Okay.
Phantoms.
Ayo, that's our new fan name. We're no longer ghosties. We are squeaky phantoms.
Okay, they have mosquito, so it's probably going to hit one of the ants, which then feeds into the fish. That's good. It's going to be a draw.
Yeah, I take those. I count those as wins.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep, anything that keeps the train rolling.
yeah. So we're gonna take that second fish. We're not gonna combine them because you need
not
more
yet.
units.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably gonna roll because we don't really have a use for a cricket at the moment.
Yeah, I like crickets. I don't mind them. That if you get opening hand of like cricket, horse, or just a horse and a cricket, that I'll usually take those 2 and call that my beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're sort of past that point now where crickets are going to be as useful. And likewise, I'm not a big fan of the horse
Well-
here because we have nothing that's making units. So
What I really like is that you can actually, so like, you know how people will put a honeybee at the end, so that way if it knocks out your whole team, you have a honeybee left so you can win.
yeah.
You can do that with a cricket at the beginning. You put a cricket in the back, and especially because you don't have too many units yet, so you can't spend them all on buffs. You put a cricket in the back, so that way it acts as your honeybee until you can like sell it and get an actual honeybee.
Yeah.
So we're probably gonna do
Yeah, the mosquito
mosquito
is
this
what I'm
this
most
year.
interested in right now. That or the duck. I'm going to have to do some experiments with the ducks now that they're 2-3s.
maybe because we don't really have much of a use for this right now. I mean, we could combine them and put a duck in there, but I think the honeybee makes more sense
Yeah.
because I don't because like it spawns something behind it.
Now, interesting that you put the mosquito 3rd as opposed to 1st, because if you put it farther up, that would mean that the ants would have fewer options of what they could give their buffs to, but you chose to let the mosquito be that option.
Because
And we
they're
won.
both because the fish and the mosquitoes are all 2/2s. At that point, it doesn't really matter.
Okay, that's fair.
At least to me.
Yeah, that is probably me still mentally classifying the fish as 2-3s.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
So
So
now we're here. We have
I mean, if anything, you could think of this as a 3/2 because it deals 1 damage to a random enemy.
that's
But
true.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't love much of anything here.
we're probably gonna
Okay,
we're
an
gonna
interesting
combine these
interaction
now.
that I want to call out. So you froze
Mhm.
the sleeping pill there, and what that does is that gets rid of a unit, and the question becomes, all right, why on earth would you spend 3 coins to get rid of a unit when you could just sell it and gain 1 coin? It's because then if the unit you got rid of
You're
has
not
a
spending 3
on-death
coins on the pill.
effect.
I just want to point that out. You're only spending 1.
Oh, 1. Yes, thank you.
Mhm.
But if you use that on a unit that has a on-death effect, that the effect becomes permanent. So what we're looking to do here is level up this ant and then use the pill on it to give something else 2/2 permanently. Or I forget if it's 2/2 or if it's like 2/1 or something, but we're looking to give it a buff permanently. I'd probably go with the swan right now because nothing we have is strong enough to get a sizable buff for the crab.
Well, we still have 10 gold. So my thought
yes,
is
we can just roll.
we can just roll, or like we can freeze and roll, but I think we should just roll.
Yeah.
Eh.
Don't love any of those. Like, of the 3, I like the spider the best, but I'm fine
Oh,
letting
here we
it go.
go.
Okay. Now, the question is, do you wanna combine them now or later? I wanna wait until round 5 because I don't
Well,
think there
well,
is
what you can
many.
do, because like we technically still have 2 more rolls and another unit pick.
That's true, yeah.
So, but we can do this. This is really good, actually. So I don't need
Okay,
this
yeah, that
anymore.
actually is one of my favorite, level 3s that I usually wait until round 5 because I like more of
Mhm.
the, 4th tier pets than the tier 3 pets,
Mm, that makes sense.
but, that one, the ox is very good, and we have a 3rd fish here, which is great because
Yeah.
we can hold on to this. What I'm probably looking to do at this point, I'm thinking we buy the ox and, I would put the mosquito first, the ant second to last, the ox last, so we're gonna get a very strong ox that is going to get the extra
Well,
buff plus the melon armor.
well, the thing is, you have the honeybee on the fish for that
Oh, that's
unit
right,
at
yes,
the
we could double
end.
up there.
So I would probably do it like that,
Yeah,
and then honey the ant later in the next round
okay, yeah, that works.
because it'll faint twice, and so this will
Mhm,
get a 2 buff
yeah,
unless it faints beforehand.
yeah, and even if it gives the buff to the fish, that means we just have a big fish.
Yeah, exactly.
Aw, that peacock's probably gonna mess with us. Also, that's a very
Yeah.
big pig.
Yeah, some people will buff like the pig like super early on. Okay, so now it's our chance to do this. But we don't want to do that yet.
Yeah, because we wanna wait one more round so we can get the tier 4, so we don't wanna spend that
Um,
there.
freeze that. Eh, I would just go for another mosquito, probably.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because our other option is to combine this now and buff,
Yeah.
or
But I'd rather
and
wait one more, I think.
yeah. Well, since we have 3 gold, we will be getting a level up for the next round anyway. So it really depends. Because like we could get like a really good. So the one thing I like to do is, at least in this situation, I like to combine at the end, because sometimes like let's say we're playing hedgehog, right? You can get lucky
Mm,
during this turn and get a puffer fish. So I'm not saying we do that now because I don't think that's a good choice, but I'm saying like, um, if I'm playing hedgehog, because you can usually get hedgehog by this round, and
yeah.
so like if you combine them, you have a chance to get a early puffer fish and have that go off early, so you can start buffing early.
Yep, yep.
Hmm.
For those who aren't familiar, the hedgehog's ability is that when it dies, it deals 2 damage to everything. And Ophi and I both like strategies where
Hmm.
you stack a bunch of hedgehogs together. But then there's
Yeah.
also the puffer fish, which when it gets hit, deals 2 damage to a random enemy. And since it's taking
Yeah.
2 damage from the hedgehog, that means that you're doing 4 damage to a random enemy and then 2 damage to the rest. And if you have multiple
Hmm.
hedgehogs, that this stacks and that you're able to just mow down the rest of the opposing team, usually before they're able to actually buff themselves. So that's a fun one, but unfortunately, we have not actually seen any hedgehogs, so we're having
Yeah.
to take other paths.
I also really like hedgehog snake, but that's just because the snake is just a better puffer fish.
Yeah, yeah.
So end turn. Ikuzo.
And next turn's going to be explosive.
Let's see. Do they just have big ant?
I think that's. Ooh, they've also debuffed the ox. Used to have more
Yeah.
toughness.
Yeah. So when your game updates, it'll give you an entire list of everything. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So that was a bit of a rough loss there, but we're now in
So
round 5, so we get to do
I'm
a bunch of
I
fun
would
things.
probably sell this mosquito. It doesn't really
Yeah,
do anything.
yeah.
Um, I would probably freeze the kangaroo and put it behind the ox just
That's
to
what I'd be
see.
looking to. I think.
But
So
there's
would
also
we
the
want
option
to?
if we get a dodo.
Yeah, the big question we have right now is: do we want to level up our fish before or after buying another unit?
I would always do it after.
Yeah, then you do want to get that value, and it's just, do we go ahead and buy the kangaroo now, or do a roll or two first? And I think since we have an
We
extra
have an
coin,
extra roll.
that I'd
We
go
had an
on
extra
and
2
use
rolls.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with
We
going.
could do. Well, what we could do is giraffe the ox. So that way it's constantly being buffed. And then just like focus on buffing instead of adding another stacking unit, because technically we have a stacking. We don't need a second one.
That's true. I don't actually use giraffe very often. Remind me what that one does. It's when
So this will give it a +1/+1 buff. And then at level 2, it gives a +1/+1 buff to the 2 friends ahead of
that's
it.
right. Yeah.
So I think here would be a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do.
So do that, then combine the fish. See what we get from that.
Oh, hippo.
Ooh, hippo. Okay, and this is the best time of the game for the hippo.
We could do.
The thing is, I'm actually interested in both the hippo and the kangaroo here. It's a pity we don't have the sleeping pill anymore.
Yeah. So my thought, okay, is we get the hippo, because that way if someone does a mosquito or anything, we don't lose this unit. It has 7 health, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we can buff it with a cupcake.
Yeah, just I don't love using cupcakes because it's, you're not getting that long-term value, but I think at this point that we do just want to sort of get to the next round, get a win, make sure that we're not losing hearts. So yeah, this is a place where I'm good using a cupcake, and especially on the hippo.
Yeah, so I would probably put it here. I'll put it second. And then cupcake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Now, do we want to freeze the
stuff in.
kangaroo or let it go?
I would personally let it go because we already have 2 stacking units. I don't think we really need 3.
Yeah. Aw, dang. Okay, there we go. I think we have this one.
Yeah.
We have the melon there, and then the second hit there. Yes.
Slowly but surely we pop off. Okay, so now
garlic.
I would say we garlic the hippo.
Yes.
And then we roll.
And I kind of just want to roll again, honestly. Don't love anything here.
I feel like we can sell the fish because I think we're at a point in the game where we can sell it.
Probably that. I'm inclined to roll once more and then sell it just in case.
Here we go. We can do a level 2, like buff up our ox.
Yep, I'm like that.
And then do we want to sell the fish because we get 2 golds? That means we get 1 more roll, and then we can pick a name of the unit.
Something. Yeah.
Okay.
Pufferfish. How I wish we could use you right now, but
I know, right? Especially because there's garlic right there.
Do you want, before you roll, do you want to freeze the garlic? Because I do like garlic on a lot of things, but there isn't anything to garlic at the moment because you don't want to garlic the ox because the melon armor overwrites it, and the giraffe isn't worth garlicking. So it would be sort of looking forward to we buy another unit and then hold that to garlic it next round. But I'm not sure if it's worth holding. That I could be swayed either way.
No, I think it's worth it just because as we get more and more into the game, it's going to be harder and harder to find.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing stellar here.
Nothing.
I kind of just want to take the pig so we can sell it back next turn for 2. Because I don't think any of these are going to be kept long term, so I'd rather take the one that can be sold for more.
That's fair. New pig. Alrighty. Enter. We'll probably lose this round, but we'll see. You never know.
That's the glory of Super Auto Pets. It's some rounds you just have, and some rounds you just don't. That's a 12/12 fish.
some people are like really whack out here. Yeah.
Dang, that was close too. That actually was a
Mhm.
lot closer than I thought it would be.
Here we go. We could dodo the. I mean, it's kind of late to dodo. I mean, we can also do parrot.
Kind of like parrot. I
Like
would
do
probably just,
that,
yeah.
but we'd have to buff it.
Well, we can garlic it at the very least.
That's true. So one.
I kind of want to freeze the pear as well. I do like
Yeah.
a good pear. That could be something either thrown on the hippo or the parrot, really.
Yeah. Mm. Here we go. You. Well, I'll save that. I mean, we're lethal, so we'll probably win this round. But, honestly,
I think I want it on the hippo.
I'm actually kind of like thinking we should do the ox because it has the most amount right now, and having just a bunch of small units doesn't really do anything. But because
Okay.
like then we aren't able to
Yeah.
take out any of the big ones because by now we should have like a larger unit, but we
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, that I was sort of looking potentially to the hippo as becoming our long-term big unit, but I do understand
No.
that ox definitely is the next one, especially since it's going to be getting the buff from the draft and from the ant, that it is actually our biggest one, even if it doesn't look like
Yeah,
it
I
at
think
this
I just
moment.
think that like if we were going to go with hippo long term, I think that we shouldn't have kept any of these three because
Yeah.
the way that we have this prepped is to keep the ox long term and not these two.
Mhm.
Because this is because like I didn't pill this because we added a honey to it, so that way we would get the double buff for the ox. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mhm.
So
The
okay.
big question is going to be, if we're able to survive this round, where do we look to go for the late game? But honestly, I'm not sure if we're actually going to survive this next round because we've come up against some really tough teams.
I was about to say I don't think we'll make it. However,
Oof.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. They did gift us a bit there, though, with the rats.
Well, they did that so that way the pufferfish could do more damage.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh my god, we draw.
Okay.
That's insane. That's so funny. Okay. I mean, I can roll again, or I take the ant and the parrot.
I kind of want to freeze the parrot and roll again.
Okay.
Punished.
Well,
Okay.
if it works out, if we live, we get a level 2 parrot. Do I think we'll live? Not really.
Not really, but hey, we didn't think we'd live the last round either.
That's true. That always happens to me. I'm always like, man, I don't think I'm gonna win this next round, and then I win, and I'm like, oh, I'm God Gamer.
This doesn't seem like I can't see what the last unit is because your head's in front of the back.
Oh,
It's just that.
it's a horse.
We might get this.
I was about to say with hippo and summoning comps, we typically win.
Yeah. There we go.
Nice.
Okay. Live to
We
fight
got the
another
level
day.
2. Oh, this is so good too. What are you? Anyway. Now it buffs both of these. Oh, boar is just a better hippo.
So did they get a new model for the tiger? Is that?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I guess they just got a new one.
Interesting.
Also, we have the sleeping pill now.
I think it's too late in the game to do that.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we'd want to potentially sleeping pill the ant and then buy either the boar or the tiger.
Well, I feel like selling the hippo and then replacing it with the boar makes more sense because the boar is just a better tiger. because this is
Gets it.
against 3/3 at knockout, but this gains it before it attacks.
Yeah. The only trade-off here is that one of them already has the garlic, which we won't have enough to put on the boar, but you are right that it's just going to be better there.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think? What would you like to do?
It's tough just because at this point in the game, garlic is so valuable, and especially in that last round, the fact that we had it, especially against summoning comps, it's what allowed that hippo to survive through all those sheep and the bees and stuff.
Yeah.
And that you're right that the boar is better, but I think a garlicked hippo is better than a ungarlicked boar. And it just puts us in a weird... Yeah. So part of me wonders, remind me the tiger's ability, because I don't use that one very often.
The friend ahead repeats their ability in battle as if they were level 1. So we don't really have much
So
of that
what I would
here,
look to
so
do
there's no use for it.
One thing I would potentially look to do is sell the giraffe and put the tiger either behind the ox as a pseudo draft to make it double up the triggers there, or put it behind the hippo and sort of min-max there and find a new place for the parrot.
We could do that. Okay, let's see. So if we, because well, the thing is, if we sell this, we lose the growing buff here. I feel like, hold on, because I feel like the other option here is we can sell the parrot as well.
And then get both the boar and the tiger.
Okay. And still get the buff, but because and then we can garlic. Well, in this situation, we can do boar or tiger, and then we can garlic one of them because we'll have 6 gold if we sell the parrot or we sell the giraffe.
And that would be going with 4 units instead of 5, but I can see the benefits of that. I'll leave that one up to you. You're the guest tonight, but that's one of the interesting things about Super Autopets is that you have all these different lines of play, and different people approach them differently.
Oh man, I gotta use my brain. I'm going to I'm gonna sell the parrot and do this, and then I don't think this will make too much of a difference, but we tried.
Ooh, that is a big swan.
Yeah, and also a big hippo.
Yeah.
And they have poop on their head, so that means we were probably going to lose anyway.
Yeah. Poop is one of the very expensive cosmetics, so somebody has it means they've played a lot of rounds of the game.
Yeah.
It was a good one, though. So, do you want to try once more, see if we can maybe get the hedgehogs, or do you want to call it there?
Ooh, we can go one more time. I'm always down for more Super Auto Pets. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Kind of want to just take the ant and roll.
Yeah.
Okay, fish and a second ant?
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll just party in again with the double ant again. Oh, I have such a bad habit of just clicking and not really thinking about the name. What would you like?
Honestly, of those, I think Cliche Fishes is probably my favorite anyways. I don't like beams, I don't like socks, I don't like smooth cartoony fishes would be the other one, but I think Cliche Fishes is better.
Alrighty, Cliche Fishes we are. Let's go. Oh, what the? Oh, it's because of the otter.
Oh,
it's fine. It doesn't really matter though.
Ta-da!
Because it still only has the 1 health. Okay, so Okay, I'm gonna do something interesting. I'm gonna buy you, and I'm gonna sell you. Please sell you.
Okay.
I'm gonna buy you, and I'm gonna sell you. And roll.
Now that's interesting because basically you just spent 2 coins on a salad.
Yeah.
I don't use beavers very much, but all of a sudden I like them a lot more. Ooh, do we want to go the triple ant or the double fish?
For memes, I'm gonna go ant.
Yeah, just sort of stack them up.
If anybody ever follows me on Twitter, I post a lot of screenshots of me playing Super Auto Pets, and 9 times out of 10, I will always do a comp with like 60, like all of just like the same thing. And to me, it's like hysterical. Like I'll do all mosquitoes and people will be like, "You're being toxic, Ophi." And I'm like, "I'm not being anything. I'm having a great time."
Camping is a legitimate strategy.
It's not cheating if they let me do it. Actually, I don't really need that anymore.
Oh wait, no, it's not a salad because the beaver buffs toughness only, so it's not quite that good, but still pretty good.
Yeah.
And the swan, which gives us more coins in future rounds.
Yeah. I don't use Swan as much as I used to when I first started. I used to think Swan was so detrimental. And now I'm like, I don't really need it. It's not really super important. Oh, get wrecked.
Ta-da!
Okay.
Ooh, a third fish.
And let's do it that way.
Ooh, this is an interesting time for a peacock.
Okay, so I'm gonna combine these two. Here we go.
Ooh, I do like a kangaroo, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna freeze it and roll. I was hoping for a hedgehog, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh, heck you, game.
Boo.
I want a hedgehog. Give it to me.
Do you want to just scrub out and try once more for hedgehog?
No, it's okay. It is okay. I can be toxic on my own time.
I saw there was a post recently from Marshmallow that was like, I want to be the hedgehog to your pufferfish. And my response was, I understood that reference.
I saw. It's like once you get it, once you understand, you get it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, a pufferfish could have used those hedgehogs.
I don't have a hedgehog though. Maybe if we manifest. Okay, hold on. Okay, goodbye, Swan. I'm being selfish. We're memeing this round. It doesn't matter.
Trying. Please, game, let us meme. It's happening, chat. It's happening.
Okay. That means we don't need this. We don't need this anymore.
No.
No, we don't need that. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have 2 rolls left. Oh my god. Okay. We're round 5, so I'm gonna actually do this.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
I don't really care about.
I don't really care about that
one. Go.
I just needed the buff. That's all I really cared about.
Yep.
Oh, why did you do that?
I think we've got this.
Oh, get wrecked.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay, second one. No, what you mean desync error? Heck you. Okay.
We're back there. Garlic.
Okay. Garlic
on pufferfish is very good.
I freeze.
I guess the question is, do you want to buy the sleeping pill here? At this point, I think I just...
I think I'm just gonna roll.
Yeah.
I don't really need that, but we
We do already
can.
have 1 pip on the fish.
So
So if
my
we were to
thought,
buy this
okay,
one, we'd be 1 away.
my thought is like, so the way I do it is I always do 2 puffer fishes and then a bunch of hedgehogs.
Yeah, that in the end, that's what the goal would be. Yes, and I suppose, yeah, 'cause at that
So
point, we're not looking to buff the team. We're looking to roll until we can get the units we want. So we're not
yeah,
gonna want to invest
so
in the fish anymore.
I'm
Okay.
probably more like, so what I'm gonna do is probably sell the fish and put the giraffe and then garlic the next turn.
The other. Mm-hmm.
Because the
Yeah.
likeliness of us hitting level 3 is really slim. Okay, so let's see. Enter. Yes, hello, small cat. I apologize if you can hear my cat like meowing.
Oh, don't worry. It won't be the first cat that's had a guest appearance on Vtuber Talk, and I'm sure it won't be the last.
Hey, that's just like, it's a thing. Oh,
Okay, snipe the one in the back. So that was a couple of really big units.
oh my
there.
gosh, it's buffing the heckin' cricket.
Wow, that's interesting. That's crafty. Well, actually, no, that wasn't crafty. That was an accident. Because we sniped it by accident, making it so that it was going to buff it. Ooh, okay. So we have a hippo now, but we also have a whale.
I think what I want to
Whale
do
can be effectively another hedgehog.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm probably more likely to sell this.
Yeah.
So I sell, I buy you. I'm going to freeze you. 1, 2. Okay.
Ooh, another garlic. Kind of want to just put that on the whale.
Yeah. The giraffe is gonna faint though. We should, just so you know.
Mm-hmm.
Since
well, in that
it'll
case,
be 2.
Okay, yeah. The question was going to be, would we want to put that up front? That would it be better as just a 2/4 to actually do damage versus the 1/1 that it gives to the pufferfish?
I think it's more important that these 2 keep getting their buffs.
That's true. Yeah.
So that way they last longer. Oh man, that was so close.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Okay, another whale.
I'm gonna do this so that way the thing does not explode. Like when it's like faint.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna unfreeze this and then I'm gonna roll again. Okay.
Ooh, a pear and garlic.
So I'm probably gonna buff the whale, and then I'm probably gonna pair one of the pufferfish. I'll probably do the one that's already pretty big.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna freeze that. I don't know what I'd use it for, but it's there. Probably the draft, just for like cushioning.
Ooh, okay. It's a summon comp, which is pretty good.
I got one of your horses get decked. Oh my gosh, did you see that?
Yeah, we just sort of vaporized half their team. And there it goes.
Get wrecked.
Ta-da! That's what we want to see.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, I'm just gonna put a garlic on this just for protection's sake, because why not? Okay. So we're gonna do. I'm probably gonna buff this one in the front.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it has the least amount and it's not getting as buffed. Do we want to do whale? I mean, it'll be a level 2 whale.
That is because that would then mean that we're getting a level 2 hedgehog effectively.
Yeah. So a level 1 hedgehog goes off, and then a level 2 hedgehog will go off.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah. More power, please.
That is a
what the
fish.
heck? What is that fish? What is that? What the heck?
Ooh, it's gonna be close, but I don't know.
No, it's not. Oh my gosh!
Ran
what was
into
that
a
fish?
fishy wall.
Holy heck! What the hell? Oh man! Oh, I have over 5,000 points. I
5,000
just
points.
realized. I play this game way too much. One time, I remember like, so like sometimes I'll hang out in so like my company, we have our V-REVERIE Discord for Gen 1,
Okay.
and
By the way, the link for that Discord is in the channel description panels here, and if you're watching on YouTube, it'll be in the video description as well.
yeah, and it's so funny. And because like I would be like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed now. I'm gonna go play Super Auto Pets, and everyone was always like, it's just like, Ophi, no. I'm like, what you mean no? And so I may or may not play this game a lot.
It's a very fun game.
It is a very fun game.
And thank you for going through this with me. Like I said, this was a first for VTuber Talk, so it was an interesting sort of case study for me, that me figuring out, all right, this is how I have to do a second setup with Ninja to make that work, so you're able to do the screen share, and just sort of comparing strategies. And we got some unlucky rolls, and we ran into some really strong enemies, but that's just how it goes, and that's part of the fun of Super Auto Pets, that it's free to download, and you can just, keep going. That you can buy additional packs that have different pets, but you are able to set it so that you, if you only want to play against the base set, you don't need to worry about being at a disadvantage because you haven't paid. So it's
Exactly.
totally, and that's frankly how I played it.
And
I might end up
that people don't realize is that people think that pay to win is always better. It's not true. In this case, it doesn't mean that you're more likely to win. It just means that it's providing you more opportunities to be more strategic.
Yeah, it gives you new game modes.
So I love this game. I loved anything turn-based, but this one's just mindless enough that I can play it for hours.
Yeah, that it's just enough mental engagement that it's fun and strategic, but it's not super grindy, and you're not having to crunch a bunch of numbers.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to think about it like too hard. You can just kind of like mindlessly play, especially if you know the units well enough.
Yeah. Now, we took it a bit slow right now, just to sort of talk through the strategy, talk through the options, hopefully provide at least a bit of context for those of you who might not be very familiar with the game. But once you get to know the units, you can just, like you were saying, if you just almost autopilot it and be like, okay, I know this goes there and this goes there, and you can sort of fall into your own personal habits and I guess biases of you get your units that you like. That for you and I, we very much enjoy that hedgehog pufferfish strategy of just, I'm going to mow you down, and every so often we will run into the 22 fish, and oh well.
Yeah, sometimes when I see those, I'm always like, what did they do?
Yeah,
what did they do?
That's something I wish there was the ability to like after a round to say, I want to see the history of my previous enemy. I want to see their play path, and like, what did they roll? What were the decisions they made that got them to where they were when I faced them?
It like, I don't know, especially because like I think it's one of those comps as well. To get the big one at the end, you have to focus all your energy on the one unit in the beginning. So you lose rounds on purpose, so that way you can guarantee the 10 win later.
Yeah, sort of min-max it. So one thing I actually saw, you just posted it a couple hours ago. You just got a 3DO mic.
Yes, I did. I got a 3DO microphone. I actually have to get an audio interface for it still, but I'm really excited to get more into ASMR. I've been wanting to like play with it a bit more, and it seems like I've been doing ASMR like script fills on my YouTube channel, and it seems like people really liked them, so I was like really excited to like really take the dive and stuff. Like I even have an idea for my first 3DO stream that I really want to do. I want to do like yandere positive affirmations. So like normally people do like regular positive affirmations, like you're doing great, I'm so proud of you, like that kind of stuff. But I want to do like yandere.
With Ayu?
Ayu, yeah.
That she is positive yandere.
Mm-mm.
That if you ever want to talk to someone, because I know she also does ASMR, but her thing is like be sure to eat your vegetables, take your medicine,
Yeah,
take
no,
care of
that's how I
yourself.
am. That's
Otherwise,
how
I'm
I
going
am.
to hunt you down and stab you.
No, that's how I
Take care of
am as
yourself, or
well.
else.
I'm a huge advocate for self-care, but I'm also like, if you don't listen to me, I'm going to show up with a knife and I'm going to take care of you in the best way possible, okay? I'm very that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like similar energy. I actually I don't know. That's literally Ophi, leave me alone. I know myself. But like I have a couple of friends that I've been getting some tips from for ASMR, so I'm really excited, and also to like do things with a twist, because right now my ASMRs, at least like the most recent one, it has like that like toxic positivity, toxic love vibe that you get from yanderes. So and I may or may not have another one coming up here pretty soon under the same guise.
Oh dear. Oh boy.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for that one, folks.
It's exciting. It'll be fun. I'm very excited.
And
So
then once again, just all ties back to the voice acting and just the different ways that you actually use your voice, and that
yeah,
what makes the 3DO so special is that it being modeled after human ears is able to pick up the different frequencies and sort of subtleties and give that really full ASMR experience. That it's not a beginner microphone, to be sure.
yeah. The thing that I really enjoyed about ASMR so far, and like learning how to not and learning how to convey that properly is has been really fun, because like with ASMR it's not a fully theatrical performance. If I get angry, like I can't like it's not too boisterous, and so learning to portray emotion at like at a lower level while still giving ebbs and flows to the story has been a really fun learning and educational acting experience for me. I found that really exciting, especially because I think naturally I have a very, I don't know, I've been told I have a very calm demeanor. So, and even like
You're
if I'm
very calm,
being,
except for when you're not.
yeah, yeah. Because if I'm mad, like it's one of those things where it's like if I'm really expressing an emotion, it's either 0 or 100. There's no in between. Like like if I get mad, I go from being like ha 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 to like I'm incredibly disappointed in you. I don't know why you thought that was a good idea, but it's not even like an angry. It's just like
The classic, I'm not angry, just disappointed.
I'm not angry at you. I'm just disappointed in you. I thought you would know better, but I guess not. And it's very that. So it's, or like if I'm happy, I start laughing, or like it's just like it's very 0 to 100 depending, but 9 times out of 10 I think I'm a fairly relaxed phantom.
Yeah.
So learning to convey emotion while also being calm is a new one for me, because I'm either like fully at it or like not. So it's been fun doing like script fills and stuff.
It requires the nuance, and also just so it's script fills, so you're not doing the script writing, because I know that's a whole other challenge that some creators have of just
I may
figuring
or
out how
may
to
not
write.
have actually written my first script for an upcoming ASMR video.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, keep an eye out.
It's my first ASMR script. It's not the first time I've written a script, but it is my first ASMR script. So I had to like look at a bunch of other scripts that I really liked and like pay attention to it was because like the way that I understand scripts is it's like a monologue. You're like talking to a person, you have a goal and objective, and you have your tactics to achieve that goal and objective. However, with ASMR, there is a whole journey and story that you're going through, and you're not just addressing the one thing like you would with a monologue, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because you're one using things potentially that is more than your voice. You might use any number of ASMR tools just for
Mhm.
those sound effects. It's going to be more than your
Yeah.
basic Foley, but also since you're probably going to be speaking quieter, that the nuance of your tone is going to be
Mhm.
magnified that much more.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it's been a really fun learning experience, and it's also just in general a really great acting experience. I feel like I've been able to like revisit some old like Stanislavski techniques and like
I'll admit I don't know
um
what that is.
Stanislavski? Oh my god. You don't? Wait, I thought you would have.
No, that I did acting in high school, but a lot of it was a combination of self-taught,
Mhm.
second-hand observations, and instruction. But I did not. I've never received formalized acting instruction in terms of like
Okay. Well,
theories beyond some of the basic
for
ones. So I'm very
context,
curious. What is Stanislavski?
so Stanislavski is he is basically he at least I was taught that he set the foundations of like modern acting techniques. You know, the idea that you put yourself in somebody else's shoes and you leave your own shoes at the door and you fully act and behave as the character the moment you put
Hmm,
those shoes on. It's basically that. Um
gotcha.
like my like I what's it called? He yeah, his main fame and influence basically comes from his system of actor training and like technique and stuff. So he's kind of like the foundation that I was taught before adding on other techniques like Stella Adler, Uta Hagen, and like Meisner and stuff, which are also all other actors and
And
people
all
that
names that mean nothing to me.
that probably I
It's like
said them and I went,
just
wait, I
sort of
need to.
smile and nod. I have no visuals here. I am your disembodied voice of a host, and I am smiling and nodding.
Yeah, so I realized after I said those names that you probably would not know who they were.
'Cause
Um,
I'm familiar with those concepts, not with those names
mhm,
of the idea of,
mhm,
really fully getting into your character
mhm,
and embodying them, everything from exercise of thinking about, all right, what does this character do when they're not on stage? Or like, what is a background aspect of this character that you know to be true, even though there's nothing in the text that
that's what
says it?
character work is for. I love doing character work.
Yeah. And I've always found that character work is the easiest way for me to get into that Stanislavski sort of mindset of being able to fully encompass them, because when I
Yeah.
have more details about a character, especially ones that are eh, more nebulous, of just a sort of personality traits and quirks, that I don't need to know their full backstory and the town
Mhm,
they grew up in, but if I can know what type of home they grew up in,
mhm,
and if I can know, did they enjoy their time in school, did they ever have a pet, or like these
mhm.
little things of structure of past experiences,
Yeah.
is one of the things that I really use to help shape a character
Mhm.
when I was doing that type of work.
Yeah. I think and like what's it called? And a lot of like acting techniques falls upon like understanding Stanislavski as the foundation. Like like a lot of actors like have talked about how they studied like the Meisner technique, which is like um it's basically you develop the ability to improvise, access your emotions, and use improv and spontaneity and impulse to react more naturally to the text. So even though you know what the line coming up is, you're emotionally reacting back to the person. So
Mm-hmm,
like let's
mm-hmm.
say you're like let's say you say like I didn't know we were doing that today, and like maybe one day during one performance you just kind of like say it cluelessly. Me, even though I know what my next line is,
Just
um
trying it from different angles.
Yeah, like you know how every day someone might be going through something different.
Yeah.
Like maybe sometime maybe like that character that day she's having a great day, so she responds to like, "Oh, I didn't know you were doing." Oh, then that's totally fine. And like maybe the next line that she says like, "Well, I told you," and it's like maybe if she's having a great day that day, she'd be like, "Oh, well, I told you." Or if she's having a bad
Yeah.
day, she'd respond as, "Well, I told you."
Yeah, some of my favorite
So it's
times
cool.
in acting is when you are in that in between of off book,
Hmm.
but either not offline or freshly offline when it's a
When it's
if
second
you're
nature to you, when
when
it
it's second nature, but when you're still being very openly experimental. That usually, if you are in
I
a show
think.
that has like a set run that you might fall into, that at least for me, like when I was in high school,
Mhm,
I would be very experimental in the
mhm,
early, middle, and early late parts of the production.
mhm,
But when it got to like we would call it tech week, that the week before the show, that we had those long rehearsals
mhm,
after school until late at night, and I would experiment with things usually up through Tuesday or Wednesday of tech week
mhm.
before opening on Friday. But then for the last 2 days, since I know, all right, we only have so many performances, this isn't a professional type of gig where we could be running for
Yeah.
several weeks, and I know I'm only going to get a half dozen performances for real,
Mhm.
that I would then hone in on the aspects and the deliveries that I'd like. And there might be some minor level of adjustment from there, but that I would generally
Oh,
start to narrow a little bit
I love when it's,
just
like, different
before.
every night. I
Yeah.
love that, for
That
me at least.
yeah, that
Like, that's why.
if I knew that
Mm,
I had a long run of more than a half dozen shows, that I think I'd be super open to that. And maybe even
mhm.
nowadays, if I only have 6 shows, that just as an adult, that I think I'm a bit more open-minded to approaches than I was back in high school. But
Yeah.
uh, back then was like, all right, I know I've got only so many real performances, and I want to make those as good as possible. I want to optimize it. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna sort of like in Super Auto Pets, that you bounce around with your different strategies, but then when you get to the late game, you start to invest in your strategy, that you determine that this is where
Yeah.
this build, this comp is going, whether it
Mm,
be I'm investing all in the one big unit, or that I'm
mhm.
doing the hedgehogs and the pufferfish. But you hone in and say, all right, at a point I'm going to commit there, because I know that the run will come to an end pretty soon, one way or another.
Yeah.
But
For
if it's
me, I
something that you
think
think it just keeps going, then it's different.
for me, I think it's, like, it depends on the night. Like, I love shows where the actor is, even though the lines are the same, they're delivering a different performance every night. Like I think a really great example of that is this musical called Hedwig and the Angry Inch. Um, every show is almost like a different show. Sometimes she's angry, sometimes she's having a great day, and so and like it depends on how the audience is reacting to her,
Mm,
and because like I think in order to deliver an honest performance, um, like if you want to also respond emotionally as well. So like if someone snaps at you, even though the entire night or the entire rehearsal run you've been responding happily, right? You wouldn't
yeah.
you like in real life, like
Yeah.
you would be upset somebody snapped at you. So
Yeah.
you
Well,
would
actually,
snap
that's
back.
one thing, that if another actor switched something up on me, then all bets were off. That
No, but that's what
even
I
if it
mean.
was
I
live, that
think
I would definitely
I
do
love it
that.
when all the actors do that. When
Yeah.
it's always
In a
organically different.
mm, yeah, in a perfect
But
world,
like the through
that's the
line
type of
but mm,
sorry, go ahead.
oh, but I was gonna say, but the through line stays pretty much the same. It's just emotional. It's what was it? What was it called? It's action reaction.
Newton's law.
Yeah. So like, except like with acting.
Yeah, in a perfect world, that's the type of acting I would want to do. And like I said, I think nowadays, being
Hmm.
a bit older and a bit more experienced, I'd probably go towards that. Um, the narrowing strategy uh, was where I wound up in high school, but I think it would probably be different nowadays if I were to
Mm-mm.
do another production. And I sadly haven't been in one in several
Mm.
years now. That obviously the past couple years in particular have not very much been
Yeah,
conducive for live theater. But
that's fair.
maybe sometime in the future.
Maybe. Wouldn't that be nice?
Well, I've already actually kept you for about as long as we planned, if not a little bit longer. And I know that you're a tiny bit under the weather. That I'm very happy that you felt good enough to go forward. That I wanted to make sure that you were going to be on a night that you were comfortable and still feeling good. And I think that this has
Yeah.
been a fantastic night. That this has been so
No,
much
it's
fun. I
been
hope
so
you've enjoyed
fun.
yourself.
Yeah, I have. I literally stayed in bed all day just so I could prep for this. I was like, I'm not going to talk all day. I'm just going to keep drinking fluids. I'm going to sleep all day. I literally slept until 4 p.m. I
Yeah.
never do
I
that.
saw you tweet and say that you've like never slept that much before.
No, when did I go to bed last night? I went to bed at 10:30 p.m. and I woke up, canceled tomorrow's stream because I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it. Like I could have forced myself to, but I was like, that's not responsible, and I'd rather do the responsible thing. And then I went back to sleep and I woke up at 4. I have never slept for longer than 8 hours ever. I never do that. It's like, it was like so strange. And then I woke up and I was like, wow, I got 5 hours until the interview. I've slept my whole day. The sun is almost gone.
I only do that on rare occasions, and it's the type of thing that I can usually detect. It was like, oh, I just slept a lot more than I planned to. My body probably needed it.
Yeah, I mean, I only ever sleep that much when I'm sick, so that's how I knew, because normally when I wake up, I'm able to get up out of bed. But like if I was able to go back to sleep and then sleep that long, it really meant that I was tired.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before we
Yeah.
go, I have 2 last questions. And the first
Okay.
is, do you have any goals for the rest of the year? That we're just about at the halfway point of 2022. You are now 2 months past your debut date.
Mm.
Do you have anything, whether it be, a metrics-based thing, or it could be just, I want to publish my first video with ASMR that I wrote and recorded all on my own, any type of goals that you might have?
I think my only major goal really for the end of the year, because I just kind of like take things as they come, and like I have things that I like, little projects that I want to work towards. Like I think a big one is I want to do an original song at some point. Because I don't think because I don't sing a lot on stream. I don't do a lot of karaoke and I don't do covers like super duper often. But a lot of people don't realize that like singing is like one of the most important things in my whole life, and I would love to do an original song.
And I think that would be something very fun, because obviously I know that you have obviously a history in performance, and you've done a couple covers, I think, right?
Yeah. I did a short cover of Tokyo Mew Mew's opening song from the original anime series, and then right before I debuted, I covered Spark Again by Eimer.
That's right. Yeah, that was a really good one.
Thank you. I love Eimer. I think I'm trying to debate on what my next like song cover would be, and I was like, oh wait, that's right, Eimer covered a song, or not covered, she wrote a song called Ophelia. Is it meant to be?
Ooh,
It
might be. It might be.
Because I'm a huge fan of Eimer. I also think Eimer, her vocals are in like my vocal sweet spot. So for her songs, it's really easy for me to sing, and they're like a lot of fun to do so as well. So I would love to cover more Eimer.
Definitely, I would be looking forward to that one. I know several people in chat are as well. And then the last question, it's one that I ask all my guests. What does being a VTuber mean to you? And that's not what is the definition of a VTuber, but to you, Ophelia Midnight, what does it mean to be a VTuber? Some people have a very clinical approach and say it is a mask that I wear, it is a tool in my arsenal as a content creator. Others have a very personal answer and say it allows me to get in touch with my inner child or be something that I can't be in real life. And everything on either end, even beyond, is absolutely valid. And I found that everybody has something that is slightly different, slightly their own. So
Mm.
for you, Ophelia Midnight, what does being a VTuber mean to you?
For me, based off of like what you've said, like it's kind of for me, it's a combination of both of those things where it's like, yes, it's a tool. I think VTubing is a tool that can be used to create content and used to represent that content as well. And I don't think it makes, I don't think it makes people any different than a typical content creator who uses their real face or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think, at least to me, being a VTuber has allowed me to create things that I wouldn't be able to if I was just using my face. Like, I guess, like, I think with VTubing, there is more, like, there's more childlike freedom to it. Like, you can, you have lore and you get to be a character, and, or you don't even have to be a character. You get to be yourself. And like, I love it because I get to be myself and I get to enjoy this like childlike form of play, you know? I think it's like more fun to write stories and create characters and all that kind of stuff. And so like to me, VTubing just means like it's another way to access another type of like form of creativity or an avenue of creativity that someone wouldn't have known before. Like, I've always been creative, but until I became a VTuber, I didn't realize the extent of my creativity, the extent of my skills that I was willing to push until I became a VTuber. Because before, I've always known I was creative. I had always been pushing projects and doing and working really hard, right? But then I became a VTuber and I felt like so many more extra avenues opened up and I was allowed more room to go after those things and let my imagination go wild because I was a VTuber. So I think it's a combination of like both. Yes, it's a tool for content creation, but I also think it is something that facilitates imagination and creativity and a more playful form of content creation that I don't even and like, don't get me wrong, I don't think, not that I'm saying like no content content creator can be playful, but for me personally, I've been allowed way more what's it called, creative freedom because I'm a VTuber, and I think it's really great.
The reason I always ask that question is, one, I think it helps sort of put a bow on things, but also because I've found that while I never know how someone is going to answer that question, that the answer always makes sense. And knowing your content and going through what we've gone through in the past 2.5 hours, I think that makes perfect sense for you, that you are very much, that you are an entertainer, Ophelia, that you enjoy entertaining in many different ways. And at the same time, you also have a slightly more professional background in terms of just, all the different acting methodologies that you list off, several of which I do not know. The fact that you know those already means that you have a academic basis of entertainment that is higher than the average content creator just across the board. And so that the combination of sort of the two different ends, or there's many different points, but those different aspects of it being a tool in your arsenal, but that it is a tool specifically for creativity that allows you to get in touch with that childlike whimsy and offers those avenues, that it's the way in which you phrase your use of the tool and the way in which you do use VTubing brings those two aspects together very nicely in a way that is undeniably you. So thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for spending your time here, for playing some Super Auto Pets with me. And
thank you for having me. Thank
pleasure
you.
is all mine. The only
Yeah, I
question
would
now
love.
is
I
who would
would
you
love
like
to
us
come
to?
back. Huh?
Oh, absolutely. That, like I said, come January, I always invite all my previous guests back for the charity marathon. And
Hey.
likewise, if you were ever doing anything for a collab or charity and you think
Mhm.
that you might want to have a disembodied voice and logo instead of a model, that let me know.
It'd be fun. It'd be fun.
So last question, I suppose, is who would you like us to raid? And obviously we are on Twitch. You normally stream on YouTube. That's why we have the YouTube link there at the bottom
Yeah.
of the screen, and why the shoutouts have had the YouTube links. I know they actually just introduced raids of a sort. I'm not sure if that's something that you have the functionality for yet, because they've also had their own various issues with some bots. But for folks that are here on Twitch, who would you like us to raid?
I let's see. Hold on. I'm trying to see if anybody. Okay, here. There is this VTuber. We're mutuals. They are well, what's it called? We're not mutual. We're not just mutuals. We're friends, but but it's Miss Brie at Cookie Box. She's streaming right now.
She's a past guest of mine. She's a delight.
Yeah, Miss Brie at Cookie Box. I love Miss Brie.
Yeah,
she's so fun. She's a very, very good friend of mine. Yeah, she's streaming right now. I think she's drunk, which I think is funny. But yeah, we could raid Brie.
Oh, whoopsies! I accidentally put in. That shouldn't have happened. Why? Technical blip. Okay, we're back. That was weird.
It's okay. You can always enjoy two of me. There's never enough. Yeah, we can raid
putting
Miss
in a
Brie.
little raid call for people, since sadly we don't have any OV emotes here on Twitch.
Yeah, we just have my ocean marks.
Dang it happened again. Why does that keep happening? It's because paste a emoji and it's just trying to paste another instance of that. So I'm not going to try that anymore. That was weird. But we'll just be
I put my Oshi marks in the chat if you want to use those.
Sounds good, and we'll just do Ophelia Midnight says hi. That way Bree will know, because she'll definitely recognize my name, but that way she knows who really sent them.
Here we go.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to start up the outro. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. This has been an absolute delight. Be sure to follow Ophelia if you aren't already on YouTube, on Twitter. Be sure to follow her gen mates. Be sure to check out the rest of V-REVERIE. I'm available here on Twitch and Twitter. It's just Vtuber Talk. If you feel so inclined, you can follow me as well. Like I said, I do show a week. My schedule is not nearly as consistent as Ophelia's, but I will be back next Sunday, the 29th. Will be the next show, and definitely will be looking forward to that. And I hope you'll stop by.
I'm excited to see who the next guest is.
Definitely. Well, Ophelia, once again, thank you so much for being here. Chat,
thank you
as well.
Me.
We'll be sending you along to Bree in just a moment, but until then, have a wonderful rest of your night, and I will see you all next time.